Coach, a few questions for you, and then we will move on to Zach. You returned 18 starters on offense, defense, and special teams from a team that enters the 2016 season riding a 7-game winning streak, which is tied for the third best in Division III, after winning last year's ECAC Legacy Bowl. What must this year's team do to be able to keep that success moving?
Hopefully we win a lot more games and keep this going. We had a rough start last year. We were 1-3 coming out of the gate, and the 3 teams that we lost to were all excellent football teams: WashU, Westminster, and W&J. And those 3 teams are well coached and great football programs, and it says a lot about the character of our kids and the quality of my assistant coaches to turn things around and win 6 in a row and then go on and win the Legacy Bowl. Hopefully our kids rode that success into the off-season, worked hard in the off-season, worked hard over the summer. We've got holes to fill, and the competition will be great in preseason camp, and obviously we hope to have a better start to the 2016 campaign than we had last year.
Last season, All-American Sam Benger led the nation in rushing and became the 21st player in Division III history to reach the 2,000-yard plateau with 2,092 yards, averaging over 190 yards per game. He always was the first one to give recognition to his blockers up front. With Carnegie Mellon graduating 3 of its 5 starters along the offensive line, how do you see the Tartans' rushing attack unfolding in 2016?
Well, those 3 young men that we graduated were excellent linemen. We hope to have balance in our offense again this year, just as we did last year. Offensive linemen, as all the coaches know, they're tough to come by. And we have some good depth, good kids coming back, some good prospects coming in. There'll be a lot of competition. Sam's a wonderful player. He is very humble. He gives a lot of credit to everybody else on the football team. He really shies away from all the limelight, to be honest with you. But a lot will depend on how that offensive line shapes up. And we also graduate some fine wide receivers, and so we're going to need to replace those guys as well if we plan to have that balanced attack that we're looking to have.
You will be without 2-year starter Andrew Hearing at the quarterback position, who posted single-season school records a year ago for passing yards, completions, and touchdown passes. What are your plans for replacing Andrew?
Well, we have some fine young quarterbacks. We have a boy who's been in the program for the last 2 years. Brian Jangro will be a junior this year, and he came in during the Teal game and played very well. And when he's been asked to go in there and play, he's done a great job. So we have high expectations for Brian. He had a wonderful spring. There'll be competition there as well, but we hope that Brian is the guy that has the best shot of leading us next year and replacing Andrew.
Last question, Coach. Besides Sam, the Tartans returned 2 other All-America selections, with both coming on the defensive side of the ball, in senior defensive lineman Brian Corey and junior defensive back Drew Fitzmaurice. Can you talk a little about the play of these 2 and what we can expect to see from the Tartans defensively in 2016?
Well, I think we return a lot of defensive players. I think it's a very athletic group of young men who can run with the offenses that we do face in the PAC. You have to find guys who can run and play in space. And Drew's a wonderful football player. He's out of the state of Nebraska. He's a very focused young man, a great leader. We're going to rely on him in the secondary a lot this year to make our adjustments and calls, along with our other captain, Samer Abdelmadi. Brian Corey's a special player, a young man that came to us at an older age. He did junior hockey for a couple of years, and he's now going into his senior year as an electrical and computer engineering major at Carnegie Mellon. I'm very proud of the fact that both Brian and Sam Benger were academic All-Americans this past year. Sam in the business as a business major, and Brian as an electrical and computer engineer. Brian's a talented young man, a strong, big, quick, tough defensive lineman, older than most seniors, and a very mature young man and one of our captains, and we're going to expect a lot of leadership from him with our front seven.
How does it feel to be selected as a captain for the 2016 season by your teammates? Also, have you done anything differently this summer in preparation for the season due to the fact you are a team captain?
Yeah, I think it's definitely an honor to be selected as a captain of any team that you play on. For me personally, I think the fact that these guys that I'm playing with this year selected me to be a captain makes it that much more special. We have so many guys on the team who are just good players and who are capable of being leaders, and the fact that those guys chose me as one of their captains is definitely something that I take seriously and something that, like I said, is definitely an honor. As far as preparation goes, from a physical standpoint, I really haven't done anything differently. I think our coaches have, throughout my 4 years, really held us to a high standard and expected us to show up to camp ready to go and ready to compete. One thing I will say that I've done differently is kind of try to take on a leadership role throughout the summer and stay in touch with everybody and make sure that everybody's focused. But besides that, I really don't think I've done anything differently as far as preparation goes.
Can you tell us what it's like playing for someone who has been around the game as long as Coach Lackner has, as well as coaching and playing for one institution his entire career?
Yeah, I think for me personally, playing for someone who's been around the game for that long has definitely been a cool experience, just trying to kind of take in whatever I can from him and just learn things from him. I think the fact that he's been with one institution for his entire career really speaks to his commitment to the institution and to the football program, and I think for me that really shows through in the fact that he wants to see his football players be successful, obviously as football players, but as students and in their lives after football. So that's something that's really stood out for me, and I've just enjoyed playing for him for 4 years.
During your first 2 seasons at Carnegie Mellon, you were listed as a fullback before converting to more of an H-back role in the Tartan's 3-year-old multiple one-back offense. How difficult was the transition for you with the position change, as well as with the style of offense you're playing now?
Yeah, so fullback was kind of my natural position. It was what I played in high school, so it was an easy transition when I first came in. But when we changed the offenses, the transition really went smoothly, and I think it really speaks volumes to the quality of our coaching staff and the fact that they worked hard to make sure that the transition was easy for someone like me who was switching positions, but for everyone on the offense who was transitioning into a completely different style of offense. So I think that it really, like I said, it really speaks to the quality of coaches that Coach Lackner surrounds himself with. And I think that the success that we were able to have as an offense really is evidence of that.
Zach, last question. What was the feeling of the team following the 2015 season? And what is the team's level of focus and attitude heading into the 2016 season after winning your last 7 last year and the ECAC Legacy Bowl?
Yeah, I think that getting that taste of success towards the end of last year really served as motivation and carried over into our off-season workouts. And I think that, in all honesty, I've never been around a group of guys in my life that have all been so focused and determined on obtaining the same goal. And it's really been an awesome environment to be in throughout the off-season, and has really made myself, and I know all of our other players, really excited to get into the season and see what we can accomplish this year.
Great, thank you guys. Carnegie Mellon will open its season on September 3rd at home against Washington University in St. Louis.